Welcome back to the Pedal Progressions podcast, where progression is the obsession. I'm joined by Craig Frazee and Kellen Johnson, and I'm Brian Zajac, and we are in the Taco Tuesday studio at Cannonsburg, which is an upgrade this week because we are sitting next to a fireplace in a well-ventilated, air-conditioned room, which is new to us.
With windows.
Yeah, and sunsets that were very bright. I couldn't see Trevor's face. Just a shout out to our sponsors, the Building Blocks Foundation. That's buildingblocksfoundationinc.org. We had our charity golf outing, and we will be doing it again next year at Boulder Creek. We raised a ton of money, and it was super fun. And I mean, I can't say enough nice things about all the people that helped out on that event. Also, 8th Day Gym, $49, unlimited classes for a month. It almost wrecked my trip to Sault Ste. Marie last weekend, where I decided to do a big CrossFit workout right before going and meeting people to ride, and my legs didn't work. Also, Sault Ste. Marie is freaking sweet for mountain biking. If you get a chance to go up there, it is awesome. Thank you, Dusty, Matt, Ryan, and Beto for taking me around. But these guys ran me through the ringer, showed me all the cool views. Check out their trails. They're awesome. They're closer to Marquette. I can't say enough good things about the town. And then the SusanMastALS.org. That ride is coming up, and Craig will tell you about it right about meow.
It's called Pedals, but the graphic designer had a little bit of fun because it's PED, PED, ALS. So the Susan Mast ALS Foundation is presenting an ALS benefit race, walk, ride, run, roll. Are there any other modes of transportation you could think of? September 14th. This is, if you have any means of mobility, there is an event that you can sign up for and race, compete, or just go hang out with your friends and do something fun for the day.
And eat good food.
And eat really good food. So, to give you a quick rundown of the events, September 14th, that's my deep breath. We got a 100K road ride. There's a 32-mile gravel ride. There's a 20-mile road ride. There's a 10 to 20-mile mountain bike ride, which everything starts from Townsend Park, so it's super convenient. There's a 1-mile walk or roll, so if you have the ability to move, you need to get out to Townsend Park.
You missed the 5K.
There's a 5K. I'm sorry, there's just so many events. I was overwhelmed. This is a lot to take in. September 14th. Sign up, go look at facebook.com for pedals.com. That's on Facebook. That's the best way to find event information.
And they gave us a discount code that I will post in the episode description for the first 10 people that sign up that listen to this podcast. So it will be in the episode description, and that's just my way to bribe you to read what I actually type out and am proud of.
It only works if you listen to the whole podcast, though.
And there's really no excuse. September 14th, what do you got going on? You're going to be at Townsend Park doing some kind of event. Next up, we have the Dragon Adventures Base Camp Skills Park build. So part 1, apparently it's a huge success. The crew went out there. We built some tabletops. We built a series of progressively larger wooden drops. The kids have been loving it. Apparently, the only complaint so far is kids have been shooting out into the gravel road because they rail this gigantic Daytona-sized berm too quickly and don't have the room to stop.
We'll say velodrome for Trevor here.
So part 2 of that will be coming later this fall. We had a ton of fun. We got to take the Dragon Adventures shuttle bus out to the trail.
Short bus.
Yep. Shuttle bus.
I'm the bus driver.
Yeah, Kellen drove us to go get some awesome thin crust tavern-style pizza, and then the next morning we went out and did a ride before we worked on trail. So keep an eye out on our Facebook and Instagram pages for more information on the next Skills Park build day. And bootleg. Dun, dun, dun. It's coming.
We have timing.
And we have timing. So it's Iceman. I believe it's November 9th is the bootleg race. And the day before is Iceman. So make sure you get out there, grab some refreshments, go heckle some pros.
Shove a cheeseburger in their face or a chicken nugget.
All right, Kellen, we have an awesome episode today. Please tell us more about it.
Well, first, let me tell you about our socials. Check us out on Instagram at pedal_progressions_podcast. You can find our merch store in the link tree. Everything you purchase from there goes right back into making the podcast better. We appreciate all your support. We appreciate seeing all our merch on you. Love seeing you out in the wild. You can also email the show at pedalprogressions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Send us some questions. Let me know if you have any guest suggestions. Anything you send, we'd love to hear it. So today's guest was Trevor Gibney. Trevor is the host of the Dirty Chain podcast. We had a fun episode with him. We talked about many things. Some of my favorite highlights were how Trevor went from a music producer to a podcast host. We talked about how to get the good stories out of our guests. We talked about how we tried to get Robert Irwin as one of our favorite guests.
It's not shot down yet. He's just a teen heartthrob.
We're just waiting for the reply. I'll be back any day. We also talked about toasting bread while riding a bike. And we gained a new sponsorship with Mid-Pack Media.
KOM Cyclying.
So without further ado, here's Trevor Gibney.
It's not called the bootleg because we're organized.
It's nice. It's nice that it always tails on Iceman. That keeps it easy.
We're bordering the maximum amount of riders that we can handle at the bootleg.
How many riders are you getting then?
70.
Yeah.
70.
Yeah, 70.
And
More.
The three of you started this?
No.
Or was it
No.
other?
It was other people. It was the guy that owned the bike shop in Traverse City, Modern Extreme Sport, started it.
Okay.
And he's flying back from Portugal this year for the 20th anniversary. So it will be a humdinger of a good time.
Boy, is that how you're promoting it every year?
A humdinger.
Humdinger.
Whatever we're doing, it's kind of working. Unless
sound-
there's bad weather, then it does not do well.
It sounds like it's working.
We've done them in snow in crazy, terrible conditions before.
I remember doing it in 90-degree weather one day.
Yeah. Remember the Mudman?
Yeah. 2019.
I think so, but it snowed the next day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucked.
It's just it's that right at that time of year when the weather can turn, or it can be 60 degrees and raining or something too. But
It's such a wild card. You just don't know. There
Yeah.
used to be other races. We used to have the race called the Extreme Country Race here, where we'd start at the top of the skills area. We'd race halfway down it, back up, which was kind of a shitty climb, and then back down all the way to the bottom. And it was the hardest 2.5 minutes of your life.
oh my god.
I'd look at my heart rate and it'd be 210. It was
That-
stupid.
That's the only race that I've ever felt like throwing up at the bottom. Every time I've done it, I've always felt like I was throwing up. It only lasted 2 minutes.
And it used to be we put the big features later in it, because you get a bonus if you hit the big features, and then you get penalized to go around if you don't do them. And we used to have the big features later in the race, but we had to move them to the beginning because you're so winded from climbing that hill. that,
Oh my
There's
god.
no way I'm not sending this jump, even though I'm going way too slow.
yeah, my legs are noodles, and I'm gonna nose case the piss out of this.
I would be so terrible at this. I might come in last in something like this.
You say that, but people are really good at cross country. Not any of the jumps or that. They've won it before. They are just that good at cross country. They beat us.
Until we learned how to do cross country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not even that good at cross country. I can't even. I don't know. It's just anything with. I mean, Brian's dropping me on the downhill. Well, that's not that surprising because he's really fast in the trail. Apparently, I learned today as we're riding. But
He was always right there on the climb, though. So we're joined today by Trevor Gibney of the Dirty Chain podcast, the real Michigan mountain biking podcast.
I wouldn't even call it a mountain biking podcast, but we talk a lot about mountain biking. I mean, you guys are definitely, it seems focused on mountain biking or gravity biking or downhill biking but I don't know. I looked at some of the people that you have interviewed. And it's no, this is just kind of just the cycling scene that's kind of what I try to say is it's not, I don't like to pigeonhole it, but honestly, it's just whatever I want to talk to, whoever I want to talk to and whatever I want to talk about. But it's, like some years it's more mountain bikey because I do more mountain bike rides and races and focus on it. And some years I'm all into gravel. So I talk a lot about gravel, it just depends. But yeah, no, I've seen like some of the interviews you guys have done and I'm like, oh, it's not like all about mountain biking. There's just some people that are really into bikes and that's who you're talking to.
Our CrossFit episode's very popular.
Yeah, I learned a lot that episode.
Why did that happen?
The gym I go to has, they're in the top 20 in the world every year in the CrossFit Games. And we had 2 of my instructors at the gym, they had mountain biking as one event at the CrossFit Games. So they had to do it. It was like in a grass field on like mom commuter bikes.
Man, have you ever seen isn't there like a famous YouTube video of just a bunch of big dudes riding? I don't even think it's mountain biking. They're just riding like I don't know if they're road bikes. I mean,
they're the specialized like commuter bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
grocery getters.
And are they on a track?
There's a rough course. I think it's on gravel.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the clip that you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that's the race they were in.
It looks ridiculous.
Gigantic human beings with more muscle than they know what to do with, trying to pedal around these bikes. And some of them do pretty well, but it's very obvious who has spent time on 2 wheels and who hasn't.
Yeah, for sure.
So with the CrossFit Games coming up and our gym in the finals for World Championships again, they had both retired, and one of them was really getting into like doing the Barrier and like doing the Lowell 50 and stuff. So I asked him if he wanted to come on and if he could get the team captain to come on, and we'd take him mountain biking at Cannonsburg because it's the easiest course around here. And we took them around, and then we got even at them for kicking my ass every two days a week. And it was fun. Like, they really had a good time riding. They want to go riding again, and a bunch of people at the gym want to come riding and like try it out now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. No, I mean, I was just kind of joking. Like, again, like talk to whoever you want to talk to, and I mean, obviously there's some crossover there, but yeah, that's cool. One of my favorite interviews I did was like these weird adventure. It was like this race adventure team that like some of them would race mountain bikes every once in a while and do a lot of like these endurance, like 24-hour events kind of things. But like, it was like this husband and a wife that had this team, and they would hike, they would like canoe or paddle, and they would climb, and they would mountain bike, and they would have to gather a group of like 5 or 7 people, and some had strength of like they were good climbers, and they would help everyone get like be a better climber or carry climbing gear or whatever. Some were really good bikers, and they would literally hook like kind of like a rope to other bikes, and these strong cyclists would drag other ones around. And yeah, I mean, it was super cool, super fast. It was like, boy, I'd never thought about this at all ever, or heard of it. But then once you talk to them, you're like, man, everyone's got a story. Everyone's got something to like, something fascinating, And it's like, man, I've never thought about that, but that now I think it's the coolest thing ever.
That's one of the reasons that I started listening to yours, was because it was more focused on the stories and the personalities of people, and like bikes bringing people together than what's your suspension set at? Do you run 22 PSI or 18?
Well, I mean, and there's a lot of people that probably want to know about that stuff, and I don't know enough about it, and I'm not the person to tell that or share that information. So way back when I started it with my buddy Sheldon, we were kind of like, this is not going to be, we're not going to be talking about the Tour de France and like, talking about each stage and, who's the best pro and all this. And 2, we're not going to be like getting off on all this gear chat, It's like, yeah, some of it's cool, but like that's not what we want to talk about is how fun it was at the end of the Lowell 50 or something, and like how we we all got some beers afterwards, and remember that time when the squirrel ran across the road and someone smoked it, and we all thought we were gonna crash, but we didn't crash. And like, yeah, that's great. Let's have another beer. Like, that's what we wanted it to be. Is just, just kind of what we're doing right now is just people sitting around drinking beers, talking about bikes, and that was basically it.
Yeah, that was always my favorite part of biking, is hanging out in the parking lot afterwards, just having stories, talking. Well, let's be honest, I'm the one screwing around in the parking lot on my bike doing tricks, and everyone else is talking.
Did you even bring a bike?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think between Brian and I, we have 6 bikes that you could ride.
So yeah, I didn't need to.
I brought one.
I brought none. We still got plenty to share.
So what was the inspiration for starting the podcast? Like, what's your aha moment where you're like, we're gonna do this thing?
Well, kind of like what I was just saying, but so it was like 2018, 2019 when we started it, and podcasts were getting kind of huge at the time. I mean, you had like Serial came out, and you had these really like well-produced, like everything was like an episode of a movie, kind of how well it was produced. And I just loved it. I was like, holy cow, I wish I could do something like that. I wasn't a journalist. I wasn't like into anything like that kind of realm, but what I did do was music. And I was with the editing and like the production side of things, I was like, I think I can do something like that. Whether it had music in the background or whatever, but I just was like, I think a podcast would be something really cool to create. But then I'm like, what the hell am I going to talk about? I'm like, there's nothing. And I think, I was a musician at the time. I was a music director for like 15 years. And so I always was like, could there be a podcast about music? Should it be about like songs people like or whatever, like Song Exploder, which is huge now. It's like, man, I should have thought of that. But yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I think that I would love to make one, but I don't know. And then it was probably around that same time I started getting really into racing gravel bikes, and I was up here in Michigan, and my wife and I moved up in 2018. That kind of changed my bike life. I was always a cyclist, but once I moved up here, and like the gravel scene was huge, Iceman, Barry-Roubaix. I remember when I moved up here, I'm like, okay, every year I'm going to do Barry-Roubaix and Iceman. That's what I want to do. And then I was just filling in races in between, and that just exploded my social circle of people I knew, just people to hang out with. And it was literally one Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting out on it's Zuby's in Lansing, Michigan. It's this pizza place. And I'm having beers with Sheldon and my wife, and we're just chatting about the race that was the day before. And I said, Sheldon, I have all my music equipment set up in my basement right now. We could have this conversation, and I could just, we could just move it to the basement. I could hit record, and it could be a podcast. And he's like, I'm in, let's do it. And then he was like, give me a second. And really right there, he goes, Dirty Chain Podcast. And I'm like, done, man, let's do it. And then I think that night we were pretty drunk, and we went and laid down some conversation, and we were like, this can kind of work. And then we tried it the next day, sober and kind of scripted, and we were like, this does not work, man. We are terrible. But it was a lot of just rough episodes, having to figure out how to have the conversation, and and then it was a ton of editing. I think we were just really bad at keeping linear thoughts and linear conversations. And now the episodes I put out, I barely edit whatsoever, unless something catastrophic happens and it just really breaks things up. I think, as a host or something, you just kind of need to know, okay, we can move it from here to here to here, end it here, done, and then just make sure the levels are good and send it out.
This guy gets it. He knows all our struggles we went through. I'm like, yup.
Man, the first couple episodes that we did were real rough in our friend Kyle's kitchen. He was the third host with Kellen and I in the beginning, and it took a lot of takes to get things right. And we tried to do the intro up in front of the podcast, and then like talk about what we're going to talk about. It was just, it never worked that way.
Yeah, you do it afterwards now, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
and being
exactly.
the only one that drinks, I'd be like half in the bag, like mid episode, because we did 25 takes of the intro. Kellen and Kyle are rolling their eyes, but at the same time, like I had played in bands for so long and like been on stage, and so talking to the microphone and stuff doesn't bother me. And these guys, Kellen was better. Kyle really had a problem with robot voice.
Kyle's a perfectionist. He if he thinks he's gonna mess up, he's starting over.
It was like a month of editing per episode that he would do. And he would get every level perfect, and
Well, that's so that's kind of like I kind of started this, but then I never finished it. But there are two different types of podcasts that are popular, and they're really polished, well produced. And then there's just like the Joe Rogan of the podcast, where you just talk forever. And I'm like, well, let's just do this talk forever thing. That's fine. That works. And honestly, like, people don't care. People don't care if we mess up, if we screw up, if we, stumble over words, we forget words. It's like they want to feel like what I gather, like what the feedback I get. It's like they respond more to the authenticity of the conversation than if it's something that, like a script that we wrote and it's perfect. And so it's like, let's not try to be perfect. Let's just try to have a good conversation. And whatever comes out. And do we make mistakes? Fuck yeah, we make mistakes. But it's the way it is.
Some of my favorite moments in our podcast, we make mistakes and we'll put it as an Easter egg right at the very end. Like, so people listen to their podcast, and you wait till the very end, you might catch some of those outtakes that are actually pretty funny. A lot
And
of them,
sometimes you can find them in the description.
a lot of them are me. me stuttering or can't say words or just forgetting completely what I'm talking about.
there's definitely some saving guests from themselves sometimes, though, too. There's a couple stories I've like trimmed out that I people have a couple beers and they'll say something, and as I'm editing, I'm like, I bet they don't want the world to hear that.
Oh yeah. We've saved some people from getting canceled or something.
I have two that come to mind right now. I won't say their names.
No, I'm just. But I've definitely done the same thing. Or it's just like sometimes the guest is nervous and they don't, like, they kind of get off on a tangent, and you're like, well, that's not really what we're talking about. But okay, let's go right back to this. It just depends on how good the guest is. But speaking of bad guests, I'll keep talking. But so that was kind of the start of it, and then once COVID hit, there was a big kind of shift in what we were doing. There were no races to be had anymore, and then we're like, shit, what are we going to talk about? And it was then I think we like.
You started with Jill, because you had her right after the Iditarod.
Yes.
And it was one of your like first COVID episodes, because, I mean, Jill's our good friend, and I remember her posting like, "Oh, I was on this podcast," and I couldn't wait to hear about the trip that she did.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think I've been super fortunate to have conversations with some amazing people, and some are local, and I cannot believe the amount of amazing people we have locally. It's like an endless source of knowledge, of experience, of just badassery. And it's like you can just keep talking to people in the same state and never run out of people to talk to. But then also, like, what we found during COVID, we're like, okay, there are all these pros that haven't been racing, and they probably aren't really doing much besides training. And so we just started like reaching out to pros. And I think I reached out to Larry Warboss, Michigan guy, Traverse City road rider, and he was like, yeah, I'll do a podcast. So we like did like a Zoom podcast, and it was one of the first times I was like messing around with the Zoom stuff, and was like, does it work? And then it kind of was working, and then I'm like, all right, like, who else can we? And then I'm like, oh, let's get like Jeremiah Bishop and Ted King, and so we just kind of started interviewing all of these quote unquote pros. Some were pros. They're all pros. They're all very pros. But then all of a sudden we were just like banking all these episodes of pros, just like boom, 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 boom. So if you go back to like 2020, we have all these pros. And honestly, it started even before that when we interviewed Alexi Vermeulen after his 2019 win for Iceman, and that was pretty huge for us. And then we interviewed Katarina Nash, who also won Iceman that year. So then it kind of took this shift of, well, we were just going to be two dudes drinking beer, talking bikes, to, well, now we're interviewing these pros, and people are like, yeah, that was awesome. Who else are you going to get? Who else are you going to talk to? I'm like, oh, shit, now we got to talk to more people. Now we talk to more people. And then I think we're in like the third phase of the podcast where it's less of that. At that time, I've been thinking about this a lot because I don't really know, I don't really have a clear direction of what the dirty chain is anymore. And that's not, it's not.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, when we were interviewing all these pros, let me back up. Right now, every single pro has a YouTube channel, a podcast, and an Instagram account that like details their life in every single minute. And when we were doing the interviews with these pros, that wasn't a thing. So, we would have Ian Boswell on, and we'd get some story about how, he, I don't know, like he was doing gravel now after he got off the world tour, road cycling. He retired and he's doing gravel, and we get that story. And now, like, he has his own podcast, and he has there's YouTube channels, and it's like, I don't think that there needs to be another avenue to tell a pro story because now they're doing that themselves. That's fine, but we just don't, I don't need to have on someone and be like, hey, you're a great cyclist. Tell me more about, people already have that, and they don't need the dirty chain for that. But what I hear over and over again is I'm doing a race like Lumberjack, and they're like, man, I can't wait to hear the next episode about this. Like, someone will be riding with me and during the race, I can't wait to hear the next episode about this race, It's like, oh, I think people that experience a race love to go back and re-experience it by hearing someone else's take on it. Or so then that's kind of where I am now. It's like, hey, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to find someone that also did that thing that has a cool story, and let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that feels accessible that way and like relatable.
Yeah,
And
I know we've talked about this before. Yeah. Like, we want to find the stories that no one else knows. Like, everyone can see the YouTube stuff or the race results, but like, for example, something that comes to mind. We talked to Matt and Jenny Acker, which I know you've had on yours before, but just hearing the story about how they're doing the cross-continent race and how they ended up in some guy's ranch house and eating questionable meat off their stove. So they drank a bunch of tequila just to make sure they didn't get food poisoning. It's just
Matt got dehydrated and had to drink Sprite to stay alive.
It's just stories like that, like stuff you never hear. Just the funny stories of a pro was eating questionable meat off some random guy's stove, and
100%.
It's those stories that make it interesting.
And so, like, I've done now I don't know how many episodes about Iceman, and every year I'm like, what else is there that hasn't been said?
Bootleg.
Well, listen, I'm into it, man. I cannot believe I haven't even heard of this. I mean, I talk to a lot of people about a lot of Michigan things, but you'll also realize I don't know a goddamn thing.
It's kind of like you didn't always know your county's moonshine still. Like, you don't always know who's running bootleg. You don't know that it's going down. You got to keep it hidden. All the best things and dangerous things usually are.
You got to walk the line.
Well, then why are you, advertising it on your podcast? At least 800 people are going to hear this. So
that is not our listenership. We are not the Dirty Chain podcast.
And after all, it's not a race. It's just
a ride with your friends that we time and compare.
No, but yeah. So every year going to something like that, I'm like, what else needs to be said? Nothing. It's Iceman. It's awesome. It's fun to drink a lot of beers in the woods and yell at the pros going up wood chip, but like, that's not a podcast. But what is a podcast is talking to the dude that made the jump over the race, and you talk to Tim Pulliam, and it's like, man, all this time there was this gem of a dude that I never talked to, and then just because he made this Well, I should have talked to him.
It
way
was
before.
a pallet ramp. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, and what a unique thing for that year and that Iceman. It's like, man, I felt so fortunate to be able to talk to him and get kind of crack that story a little bit. It was like, this is the coolest thing. And you know what? I don't even know if the numbers, if a lot of people listen to it or not, but I loved that was the angle. It's like, another Iceman. We're not really going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this ramp. And I thought it was the coolest thing.
So I listened to that episode.
I did as soon as it came out.
Yeah. And what struck a chord with me is you're like, oh, 2024, you might not remember who won, but you're going to remember it was the year that somebody jumped over the leaders pack.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And
Only got to go bigger and better next year, right?
Well, the guest, Timmy, right? He's not sure that they're going to build it again, or he was like, we're going to do something different, or
Yeah.
somebody else has got to step up.
I mean, I kind of loved how he was like, it's just this year's thing, man. It's not going to be the same thing every year. Will we do something different? Maybe. Are we going to do the same thing? No. It's like, yeah.
I think the key is keeping it hidden. Like, don't let anyone know. Just have it
Yeah.
happen during the race. You don't know where it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or what it is.
Yeah. He seemed like kind of a, ask for forgiveness later kind of dude. But
You have to be with stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you just
yeah.
can't. Can I do this really dangerous thing over all these people in the middle of the woods?
They're going to make you have an ambulance sitting there. Like,
hey, I'll let you guys know. I listened to the Rick Plight and Tenor episode, and this is again why I'm an idiot. I don't know a goddamn thing, but I know those dudes from Bear-Roubaix, from Lumberjack. I mean, I don't know them. I know.
You missed Rick by 2 minutes. I set up his suspension in the parking lot. I walked up here, set the computer in, and walked down, and you were there. You literally, I was texting him about his suspension on his new bike I set up.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I don't know Rick. I know Tenor, kind of. I've ridden with him and hung out with him a
Through his
couple
yard.
times.
Yeah, you rode his yard.
I
today.
rode through his yard today, which was super cool. Yeah, what a cool trail. What a real gem out here. This is awesome. Cannonsburg area. I had no idea the work that they put into the local trail system. I've just always thought of them because I've only kind of heard their names since 2018 when I moved up here, did Bear-Roubaix. Like, oh, these people put on gravel races, mountain bike races. That's what I thought they did. Had no clue. I've ridden, not all of them, but I've ridden so many of these trails. Had no idea. So that was super cool for me to hear that and get that story. It was really neat. Anyways.
Appreciate that, because that is our focus.
Yeah.
We started venturing into doing more big name people on Zoom and stuff, and we've got a lot of friends that race World Cup races and stuff, and they have their own podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the local stories need to be remembered, and if we can have a digital copy of like a photo album of all these people that did these amazing things that make what we do every day possible is more important than hearing how Dakota fell at Leger this week.
Yeah, and not to get super deep, but I'll kind of start way at the beginning. But it's a lot of these conversations that I've had, specifically on the podcast, have inspired me to do bigger and bigger and push myself more and more. And a lot of times it's because I've been just talking to my friends, and it would be like a buddy did Crusher. I'm like, what is Crusher? And so I talked to him and learned about Crushers. I'm going to do that next year. It's like, what's Margie Gessick? And then I talked to someone about Margie Gessick. It's like, I'm gonna go do that next year. And so it's in a not in a weird way, but in a very real way, the podcast is so selfish because it's like, man, I just want to talk to people and get inspired and do cool things. And so I'm kind of using it as my own fuel. But then, like you said, Brian, it's like you are creating these moments, and you have these digital copies of it forever. And then one of my buddies that I talked to and inspired me to do all these things, he's in a bike accident and dies. And it's like, fuck, man. But then I'm like, I have hours of his voice on episodes that I can go back and just hear him and get re-inspired, and that is priceless. And that's just I mean, that should never be a motivation to do a podcast. It's just like a happy accident, and it's incredible that those things exist. But and I'm sure that's not. I'm sure there's now that podcasts are however many years old. I'm sure there's tons and tons of really incredible stories from people that aren't around anymore, and it's crazy.
I regret not getting Mark Hendershot on when he was still able to come on. He was someone that influenced me a ton. He was the only cross-country rider ever on the Santa Cruz Syndicate team. He lived in West Michigan, right here. We rode on the Elder team together and missed out on that. And that, like, stuff like that kind of bothers me, where, like, we can make a time capsule. Like, I mean, that's what we do. We make a cornerstone time capsule of what's going on these years while we're in the mountain biking scene. And everyone can relate or look back as they get into it, and it'll always be there for them. But there are the ones that got away.
Yeah. That buddy of mine is I have to say his name. His name is Brett Miller, and he touched a lot of people's lives, and he was one of those guys that if you were a new guy on a ride, he would be the first guy to welcome you. And
That's a big deal.
And it was a big deal because I was that guy, and he was that guy that welcomed me and made me, as a person that just moved into town, didn't know anyone. He was one of those people that I'm like, okay, I guess I'm in the cycling community now, and I guess I'm going to keep coming back. And he's very distinct looking. He had a huge beard, and you can't miss him. So he was a great guy. But anyways, yeah, it's special. Like, but it's not all episodes are special. Some episodes are bullshit. So
One of my questions in my outline here, what was the most challenging episode? You don't have to say the name of who it was, but like maybe the scenario that made it challenging for you.
oh man, that's a tough one.
Or did you ever have something just went bad, like you recorded something, you lost it all the data or something?
Oh.
Like that? Something where it went horrible and
No.
didn't work out?
So yeah, I interviewed Rebecca Rush. Do you guys know Rebecca? Like, ever heard of Rebecca Rush? Big deal, big time. Like, she has.
Kilimanjaro.
She's just a big name in cycling. She has Rebecca's Private Idaho, which is like a 3-day gravel race in Idaho. She's just really well known as like an endurance, kind of a spokesperson for endurance all around. And super positive, super cool. Somehow I got connected with her and got an interview with her. So it was via Zoom. And it was like one of these things where she had a publicist send me information, and I had to send in questions before and all. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm already nervous about this one. Because I'm lazy. I don't like to prepare. So
We get that too with our. We get that too.
Familiar.
Yeah, we get that too with our guests. They're asking like, "Hey, what are you going to ask me? How do I prepare?" I'm like, "We're not telling you a thing. Like, it needs to be authentic."
and
Also, we don't have any questions prepared.
hey.
Oh, I stand corrected. Brian crushed it with the outline.
But so I had to prepare all this stuff, send in questions, and already I'm nervous. I'm like, oof, this is not gonna go well. I think I did okay with the questions, but we'll see. As soon as the interview started, she was so sweet and so nice that it was just like, oh, I don't feel nervous anymore. This is great. So we start talking, great conversation. The internet goes out. It just gone.
No.
And I'm like, what the? And I didn't know what to do. I had her number, so I text her. I'm like, you will not believe this, but everything just stopped. And she's like, it's cool. Take a beat. Plug in your router again and see if it works, and we'll start over. And I'm like, oh my god. And I do all that, and it saved what we had before. So I'm like, Rebecca, I think we could just keep going. Like, I don't think we have to redo that. and it worked. It was fine, but I was terrified. I thought I lost it all, and I was so nervous and embarrassed about that. And she just was like, "It's cool. Just take a beat. It's fine. No reason to get upset." And it was fine. It was great. There's been other ones where I think I've interviewed some people where they've taken it, I guess maybe they've taken it too seriously. Like, I want to have a lighthearted conversation with someone, and they're like very stoic, and it's like I can't even get them to crack a smile or something. It's like, oof, this is just going to be like details and nothing else, and then it turns into that. It's just not even. And then I've thought, like, it's probably on me. Like, there's probably a way to set the tone or introduce the tone before we hit record, and it's probably a failure on my part for not saying, like, hey, this is just like a lighthearted conversation. I'm not going to drill you with questions, and no need to be like, I want to laugh. I just want to have an hour of laughing, but yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of when it's tough.
Yeah.
I go by the Dan Patrick, the sportscaster, like school of thought. Like, if you've got someone like that, just put them on their heels right away and ask them something like, what was the best concert you've ever been to?
Yeah.
Like, just something like that. Like, just something like they're all like geared up to like bring you details about something and like get into something, and you gotta get them off balance.
Something not at all about what I thought they'd be talking about. Yeah.
Jill Martindale was getting serious. She's a big listener. She's a big promoter. Thank you, Jill, for promoting, and Jenny, the girls last week. But we just threw a curveball and started asking her about her roller derby career. And like, that's the part of the episode that everyone like talks about is like.
But man, that's like, those should be asked. Those questions should be asked. I mean, roller derby. I mean, yeah. I bet if we looked up right now, there's probably like 80 roller derby podcasts. Don't you think?
What's your over-under? Is it 80? I think we set the line
80s.
at like 56.
I'm going way down. I'm going to say 23.
I think it's less than we think.
ChatGPT is once again going to come to the rescue.
Just keep it away from the microphone so it doesn't go click, 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 click.
Yeah, I know what we found with working with the guests is we just start talking and hit record and don't tell them, and then like 15 minutes into it, they're like, when are we going to start?
Yeah.
Like, we have been.
Yeah.
And there's, like, if you don't tell them we're starting, like, you give them the hard, like, okay, and go, then everyone clams up instantly.
I think the more natural it feels for everyone, the better the conversation's going to be.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a little bit of constructive criticism. You have a lot going on here, dudes. No, it's fine. Like I get it. I'm just joking with you, but like, I went from having a lot of stands and headphones to just like two dudes holding microphones, and we just hold them. And can you hear people move them around? Yeah, you can. Does it matter? I don't think so.
I didn't know. I listened to a few episodes and I couldn't pick up on it.
Yeah,
I'm also not an audio engineer.
Some of them, I don't know. Like the last couple I've done, we've been holding them. And so if you haven't listened to like any of them this year, then I mean, sometimes, well, no, I don't know. Sometimes we'll hold them like, I don't know. One of my favorite ones was we were outside at Black Rocks after Ore to Shore, and I interviewed Jordan Wakely, and it's like you hear all of this shit in the background, and we're holding microphones, and it's like, it's just the way it is. We're just at a bar having a conversation. It was great.
We used to care about background noises, like what's going on behind us now.
Yeah,
But
there's a fridge run behind us, and who cares?
Yeah, there's a lot of things blowing around, but I mean, you can't help that. I mean, that's just the.
it almost made we did one without the air conditioner on, and it almost, when I was editing it, I was like, I kind of missed the white noise machine in the background.
It's too quiet.
I can hear all the mouth stuff.
For anybody wondering, the Underhit, there's only 17 roller derby podcasts nationwide.
But your Pedal Progressions podcast, right? Mm-hmm. I think you need to tack on like a mountain bike podcast, because in the searches, that's gonna like you're gonna skyrocket, because people are gonna say, I want a mountain bike podcast, and they're gonna say mountain bike podcast, and then yours will come up in there somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a hot
It's like
tip
you're
right
a
there.
pro.
Well, I mean, if you look up Dirty Chain, it says Dirty Chain Podcast, a cycling podcast.
Oh.
I mean, that's just like technical whatever, but it probably yields some hits, you know? I don't know.
So earlier you kind of mentioned that you're not sure what the identity of Dirty Chain is at this moment in time. Is there a North Star, or like somewhere you're heading, or is there a goal, or are you just having fun talking to
Winging
cool
it.
people and collecting some awesome stories?
I mean, that's a good question. It's tough. Like, I think I'm at a point where I get concerned that no one just wants to hear about the rides I've done anymore. And that, I mean, no one does. No one does. So, I mean, if it's usually like latest episodes are kind of wrapped around something I've done, but I try to highlight someone else's experience, not my own experience. But then it's like, you know, people probably just kind of get bored about talking about Margie and Crusher and stuff like that. So,
Your Mark Grant's one that you just did
Yeah.
was fire. Like, I
That
want to
dude-
get his contact from you because there's a lot of stories to be told just from what he told you
Yeah.
that he could get in deeper with. And I really appreciated that podcast. I was like, I was drooling while I was listening. It was great.
And so I think that is a great example of what it needs to be more of and what I want it to be more of. I think you guys are doing a good job of just like highlighting unique stories, local unique stories, and that's what I think work the best. So I don't know, it's tough. I mean, I have like over 100 episodes now, and it's like, how, you know, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, and I love to do it, but then sometimes I just want to ride my own bike and like not, you know, it's like maybe I need to edit tonight and not, and I have like one in like brewing, like I've already recorded, I got to edit it, and so it's kind of like, well, I'm just keep putting it off, and
That's why we moved here for the
Yeah.
summer.
so you can ride and then just
Talk about it.
Yeah, for
It-
sure.
It's easier to get people to come out and say, hey, want to ride, then talk a little bit afterwards instead of talking in the parking lot. We're just talking in front of microphones.
Think you want to miss a night of riding, so you
Yeah.
can come over to my house in my basement and have a beer and talk about biking while it's nice outside?
Yeah, and I don't need to be like mean to be like kind of negative about it or whatever. It's just like I'm just trying to decide why I'm doing it, and then when you talk to someone like Mark Krantz, you're like, that's why, because that was an awesome conversation.
Your last Sheldon one was really good too. I was pretty glued to that one when he came back. It was a little while ago, but
Well, I will tease the next episode is another Sheldon episode, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, we had a good time, and then you do that. You just like reconnect with a buddy, and it's like, yeah, this is why I have the podcast, because it's just fun to do this.
like I'm sitting in the car listening on my way back from my long trip this weekend, and I'm like, drop bars on a 26 is not a good idea. You should be wider than that. But I enjoyed listening to the whole thing.
Drop bars on a 26er.
Yeah, you guys were talking about your single speed 26ers that you
Man,
built.
you will love this next episode, because we just we can't stop talking about it, man. Like we got them out again. I almost brought that bike here last week. This 26-inch. It's a Gary Fisher Huku from.
That's my first bike ever.
The Huku.
Yeah.
Nice. It's from 2002. It's not super old, but
Red?
It is,
Question mark?
No, it's blue.
Oh.
But and it has this garbage Marzuki fork on it. I think it's Marzuki. It's only like a coil. It's not even air. So it's just like boing, boing, boing. But yeah, we put. It's single speed as well. So. But I had my bike in the shop, and I started just like running this thing again. I'm like, this thing's pretty fun. But they're so lightweight, you know. There's nothing to them. They're single speed, and you just kind of like. And Sheldon took it, and he geared it specifically for more mountain biking, and I love it. It's a blast.
How would it have done with the sand traps that we encountered today on Cannonsburg?
I think the sand would have been a little tough. The hills, I think I could have got up some of those hills. It would have been slow.
And it's the pizza cutter tires that would have did you in.
They're 2.2.
Okay, so not terrible.
They are Thunderbirds, 2.25s on there. So but they're 26 inch too.
That's not what Sheldon rides up front. I listened to the podcast.
It's not. It's not. And I need to procure a better front now that it's more of a trail. Now that it's a dedicated 26er drop bar trail bike, which everyone should have in their quiver.
It's a growing category.
It really is. But it's so stupid. I just bought new bars for it, and I'm probably gonna buy a new fork for it, which is so stupid. It's like, yeah, why am I gonna spend another $300 on this throwaway bike?
I have a really nice RockShox Revelation Double X with a lockout for a 26-inch bike.
Is for sale?
It can be. It's on the girlfriend's first bike ever, and we want to part it out and put the frame in the studio with a bunch of the other retired frames. I just need to get the parts off of it, so it's like a bunch of old 26-inch high-end parts.
So you'd be doing him a favor buying it.
Well, I want something that works well. Not I
It
have.
does work well. It's just a lot of travel for your bike.
It's probably too much travel. Yeah.
But I think you can. Those are the ones that have negative air springs in the bottom, and you can inadvertently drop them down to 110, 120.
So what kind of PSI are we gonna put in this bad boy? Just joking.
On our next bike nerd tip.
No, I mean that has been. I mean it's you're asking about what the direction of the podcast is, but it's what all of us have different seasons of our riding, and it's what is our riding gonna be? Last year, I put so much time into training and to racing and to really focusing on that. This year, I thought it was going to be the same thing. Crashed hard at the beginning of the season, broke ribs, and I was pivot, not do that. And then it's now I'm going to just ride this 26er around and have a blast doing it. Mm-hmm. And then it's that's what riding bikes is. There's a time to focus and race and whatever, and some years it's not that, or some times of your life it's not that, but don't get rid of the bike. Just figure out different ways that it serves your life.
Yeah.
I just had an excellent idea that's a terrible idea.
Those are the best ideas.
Can I guess what your idea is?
Ooh, I
Go
think
ahead.
you should.
Can I guess what it is?
Go ahead.
That I bring that bike to the bootleg. Bootleg.
It is not, but it's very, very similar. Craig and I like to drink beers and do party laps at Boyne Highlands. And if we could get Kyle and his drone and all of us to film you for a day at Boyne Highlands on your 26 single-speed drop bar bike while slamming White Claws and having fun.
This thing has V-brakes on it. Remember the V-brakes back in the day?
Yep.
I have thought about, it's how much money do you put into a stupid bike? What's the limit? I don't know. But it's man, if this thing had a dropper, it would be sick.
And P&W does those externally routed dropper posts.
Yeah, 27 too. They got them.
I think this is essentially the podcast I had with Sheldon. We were talking about all of the things. He mentioned that exact dropper. And
You could actually do one. I bought one for my downhill bike when we used to go to Blue Mountain in Canada, and they're the best downhill trails were the farthest from the lift. And there's a little handle under the seat that you just pull it up and it comes up, and then you hit it and it goes down. And I saw them for $88 on Facebook Marketplace the other day for a 27 too.
That's pretty good.
So do you have a bucket list guest that you want? That I get this person, I feel like I've made it. Is there that one person that you really want?
Yeah, I mean,
I know for us, our people are very different. Mine and Brian's. And I don't know Craig's. I know Brian's.
I do know, but I don't know. It's a big name person,
Mm-hmm.
And there would have to be a reason to interview them, and and it wouldn't be just because I want to interview them. Like there would have to be something where like I don't know, but Lael Wilcox,
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
she is like this ultra endurance badass. She is probably the maybe one of the most well-known like ultra endurance cyclists. She like rode around the world. She has all these crazy records and Tour Divide kind of stuff. And if you look her up, she has like 1 million YouTube videos. She's like the most positive person you have ever seen. And it's like I can't see a conversation with her not going well. It would just like she just seems so goddamn positive.
Yeah.
And she's incredible. What she has done and how she can just ride forever. And kind of in that same vein, but I don't think it would be as good of an interview, is Lachlan Morton. And I don't know if you know that. I mean, this is, again, like ultra endurance guy. He was a road cyclist, kind of turned gravel cyclist, but does these crazy long, like, stupid adventures, but also like blazing fast. And he is just the chillest dude that he just wants to ride his bike. This is the guy who a few years ago did the Tour de France alone, and instead of like, so each stage of the Tour de France there's a you finish and then you get in your team bus and that bus takes you to the next start the next day. He did all the stages and like kept riding from each, and he just did it all together. And I think
Even the stuff from like Denmark to France, or
well, I mean, it depends on where the first couple stages are.
because I was Italy this year, and then I'm a big Tour de France fan.
I think
that might surprise
this year. This year I think it was all in France. It did not go out of the country at the beginning. I think it started in France too. I could be wrong, but yeah, he may have had to get on a boat or something. But his goal was to do all of that, and it was like continuously riding and actually beat the pro race. So I don't know, it was crazy, but he did it.
that's wild.
Yeah. But he's so chill. But I've heard some interviews with him, and it's almost like he's too chill. Like no one's gotten like a really. I mean, he's had some good interviews, but I think it'd be a little difficult to have a great. I don't know.
Yeah, I know for me, like, my dream guest would probably be someone like Brandon Semenuk. Like, he's won a bunch of slopestyle stuff. He's won Rampage. Now he's a rally driver. He's, teammates with Travis Pastrana for rallying. Just
He doesn't talk.
If we could get him to talk. Like, he's just one of those guys. Like, there would be so many cool stories that I could hear. I think I know Brian's. I'm pretty sure I know Brian's.
If you were to lower your expectations to Ryan Howard or Cam McCall, we could probably do that.
I've actually sat in a hot tub with Ryan Howard before up in Whistler.
Can I have some more details about this hot tub situation?
Yeah, I was actually up in Whistler for a camp, adult camp, and I was sitting in a hot tub, and we were just hanging out with our camp group, and in just walks Ryan Howard and sits down in the hot tub, and they were testing the joyride course, like, as they're building it. And he was out there riding it all day, and he was talking about testing of that, and I had an awesome conversation just talking to Ryan Howard. Randomly showed up in a hot tub with me.
Did he braid your back hair?
I wish.
Those are the details I wanted.
It's my chest hair. I got no hair in my back, just my chest. What's yours, Brian? I think I know who it is.
Oh, well, obviously it's Robert Irwin.
Yeah, that's the one you wouldn't think of. Robert Irwin, the Crocodile Hunters kid.
Oh my God.
He rides for Santa Cruz. He's really good.
What?
Yeah, he rides. If you watch his videos on Instagram, he's got like 37 million followers.
Hold on, he rides for Santa Cruz?
He's like
he
grassroots.
Rides a Santa Cruz.
He rides a Santa Cruz that they give him because he's super famous.
Yeah.
What discipline?
Downhill enduro. Like
Wow.
he's got like a cool video of him like taking a shovel out and building a jump over his Land Rover. And if you ever watch him like with crocodiles, look at his shoes. He always wears 510s. So you can see that that's how I saw it. I was like, are those 510 free ride pros? And they were. And I was like, oh. But then, like, the second is Brent Buckwalter, because he's
Oh, heck
from
yeah.
Cannonsburg.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
literally grew up, like, less than a mile from right
that'd
here.
be great. I like that a lot.
And I want to hear the stories of, like, what goes on in the broadcast that we don't see. Like when they're always so professional, because that broadcast is, like, one of the best broadcasts in professional sports. And, I mean, 6 hours, so
Yeah.
they got time to make it right. But I want to hear all the things that go on, like, backstage. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to hear that stuff.
There's a broadcast guy, he was GCN.
Yeah.
So he's a former GCN guy, but now he's doing some Eurosport stuff or whatever. But his name's Matt Stevens, and the dude is a riot. And I don't know anything about him. I mean, I know enough about him. He was a former pro, British pro, but man, I think he would be a fantastic interview. Something that came to as you're talking about the Irwin kid. What's his first name?
Robert.
Robert Irwin. But Reggie Miller,
He's got his Boom Baby thing.
he's like I think he did a ride in like a gravel race in Indiana, the Dust Bowl.
This is
Yep.
like the basketball player, right?
Correct. Yeah, the basketball player Reggie Miller. Yeah.
And rides for Santa Cruz.
He's got the biggest bike you've ever seen.
Yeah, he's like one of those like 32-inch ones now. Is that what new?
I think I saw up to 36 is what
Is-
I've seen.
Is it the?
Bigger
than-
It's a
32,
3 or
I
a
think.
4XL. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen they made special bikes for like Shaq that are like 36-inch wheels. They're just huge and
He responds.
But
you
they're-
could get him.
They're doing 32-inch production wheels now.
are they?
Yeah, they just it was just coming out. Yeah.
Well, we'll all be upgraded in 2 more years.
Yeah.
I'm not tall enough. Craig's the only one tall enough here.
Still might buzz my butt.
But no, Reggie will reach back out
Yeah.
and stuff, because I hated him as a Pistons fan, right? Because Pistons Pacers, it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And he started coming on Dan Patrick and he's talking about his bike and how he's getting into like all these endurance, like mountain bike rides in California and stuff,
Yeah.
and like living in Malibu and riding. And he talked about like trails that we ride and stuff. And like ever since then, like I'll comment on like his Instagram stuff, and he'll like comment back about
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
So he's an obtainable guest that would.
I will-
he's pretty high up on my
I will
list.
say that's a really cool thing to point out, because I mean the reason people have a social media is to engage with people, and I've as a podcast have reached out to try to engage with people, and I've heard crickets. And it's like, at least give me something, like you don't have to go on my show or something, but just say like, and I never come out with an ask. I'm just like, hey man, like cool, like great job or whatever. And there's people that actually respond, and there's some people that don't respond, and you're like, oh, that dude's a dick.
Yeah. So find us at pedal _
Craig, I've got to ask, who's your dream
Yeah.
guest?
We
We
skipped
can't
him.
skip you.
It's a highly specific answer.
Go on.
5.5 beers deep, Steve Pete.
Oh God. We wouldn't have to talk. It'd be like the Marnie episode all over again.
Just the mustache, the stories that would be flying. I know. I mean, he's even gone on record talking about some wild situations, but it's like what you could uncover with him, I think, is a gold mine.
I don't know this dude, and besides Brent Buckwalter, I don't know any of the names that you guys said. So
Yeah.
my knowledge is not good, but also my focus of things I pay attention to is not what you guys do.
He's an OG downhill World Cup legend.
Okay.
Up until recently, he had the record for the most wins ever of World Cup downhills, and then Greg Menard beat it. And he's just a drunk English dude. Like in all his video parts, like in all the premieres and stuff, he's like, they all start with him sitting at a pub that they built on top of a downhill course, and he like chugs a beer and like goes.
Heck yeah.
He's a hero of Craig and I.
And he has the greatest mustache known to man.
The mustache.
We saw him at the Snowshoe World Cup, and it was just some dude on a bike, and we're like, bomb the hill. Sure as shit. He unlocked the brakes and was going 50 miles an hour down the hill. We're like, Zach Belwinski, former guest, was like, that's Steve Pete. And we went to the after party, and they're like launching fireworks into cars and stuff. Probably not the best, but we got to talk to and hang out with Steve Pete for a while, and it was pretty high in my epic hangouts with pro mountain bikers. That and like slow dancing with Wade Simmons.
You know, one of my, speaking of mustaches, one of my favorite interviews was Ashton Lambie, who you may not know this guy's name, but he was a track cyclist who was a world record holder for like the 1K or something ridiculous, like under 4 minutes 1K, or like I could be completely wrong, but it was a really short distance. But I mean, this dude was jacked, like huge legs. But then he was riding some of this, like the first year of the Lifetime Grand Prix, that cyclist, that gravel cycling, whatever, he was in it. But he wasn't really built for that kind of racing. I just think he had enough of a following that they brought him into there. But I was at an event at Sea Otter, ran into him, and we just chatted, and I'm like, man, can you come on my podcast? And he is super interesting. So that dude, after he is a watt machine. Those track cyclists, they just like, they're so strong and they just can push the pedals like nuts. Have you seen those sailing competitions where they have like the pedals in their hands and they're like moving the hands? So they changed the rules where you can do that with your legs. And so they started to bring all these ex-cyclists in that were really, really strong, and they turned him into he gained like 20 kilos and just became like a watt monster. And he was just on this like U.S. national boat team, sailing team, and super, super fascinating.
There's a cool video of a track cyclist. I can't remember who it is or what about, but I remember they hooked the guy up to like a toaster, like the toaster bread. Like, all right, put him on this trainer, put it on a toaster, and he had to hold like 1,200 watts for like a minute and a half to toast some bread, and afterwards the guy's just eating it. But 1,200
Jeez.
watts for a minute and a half is a lot. Like
1,200 watts for more than 1 second is a
it
lot.
is a lot. So yeah, the track
seems
guy
impossible.
but you just
guy's-
watch him, and the bike is flexing like he's
Yeah.
gonna snap that thing. I'm like, holy cow! But just for a piece of bread, like I'll pay the 2 cents for the power company to toast my bread.
It's great. Like, watts is not just power, but it's also cadence. So that's where those track guys too can get so many. Like, the faster you spin, the more watts you will have as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just like slow grinding. If you can really get that cadence up, then you're pushing those watts too.
Does anyone understand track cycling? Like, what's the point when they just come to a track stand and just stare at each other? Like, I'm not going till you go. Like, does anyone understand that?
There's so many different. I cannot recommend going to the Lexus Velodrome more. It is the best experience, and you guys on this side of the state, you're a little bit farther of a travel over there, but they'll do these pro nights, and they have, I don't know, 5 different events, and they kind of explain them along the way, and they have they go from youth races to pro races, and you sit in the center of it and watch all these around you, and you drink beers, and it's the coolest thing. The Lexus Velodrome is one of the coolest places to visit.
We have an in if we go to the Toronto one, because
Probably a little further away, but
it is a little further away.
But I knew it was coming.
Our super close friend's niece is Chloe Dygart, who's kind of good. And
no way.
also David Brower's girlfriend is on the Canadian national team. So we'd have 2 ins right there
Yeah.
to root for.
Well, I think the Lexus Velodrome, I mean, it's just open to the public. So, I mean, I think maybe you buy a ticket for a table or something.
Yeah.
It is super cool. It's such a cool experience. And it doesn't matter. If you like bikes, it doesn't matter what kind of bikes. You're like, what is happening? I mean, they're all fixies. You look at the bank and how
It's steeper than you think it
of an
is.
angle it
Yeah.
is. It's so cool. But then there's also people that I know just go and race these things, and I feel like that's more dangerous than any mountain biking I've ever done. It looks terrifying.
I feel like there should be a roller derby, indoor cycling combination night.
So there's an event in
Uh-oh.
there is an event in track cycling. Oh, what's it called?
Cycle Derby.
It's not called Cycle Derby, but you have a teammate who is slowly riding on the top, and like if I'm in, I ride really fast towards the center, and then you tag each other in, and so you grab that teammate who's
yeah.
on the top, and you
Like
pull them in,
Slingshot him in.
slingshot them in. Gosh, why I can't.
Their
remember.
They
arms.
shake and bake.
I watched this in the Olympics, and I was really trying.
Madison. It's called the Madison.
They
It's called
I would
the
say they
Madison.
have goofy
Yeah,
names,
yeah.
but I enjoyed watching. But the whole time I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And to watch it like in person, you're like chaos. It is complete chaos, and you're like, someone's gonna die tonight. I think someone's definitely gonna die tonight, and then no one does. So it's so cool. You guys got to check it out. If you're over there in Detroit, you have to check it out.
It sounds like cool. It sounds fun.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm always up for a good time, especially because you said there's drinking involved.
Sold. They should have somebody ride the opposite direction.
That's called the kamikaze.
I think next week we'll get to hear from the Eclipse on Tap guys about how awesome road cycling is. And I was telling you earlier, I went to Grattan and tried to race,
Yeah.
and I was more terrified starting the road race on my 2001 Specialized, whatever the hell it is, than I was dropping into Dirt Merchant following Remy Metallier. Like, that's who towed me through Dirt Merchant the first time. Like,
It's it's different. It's so different, and
it's death.
well, yeah. So like, it's like Margie, and they claim it as it's the hardest one-day mountain bike race in the world or something, and I've done it, but I've also done like I swear, like sometime like Lord of the Springs is this Saturday. I think that is one of the hardest races ever too. But it's just like races are different, and you can make them as hard as you want them to be or as easy as you want them to be, but sometimes like the effort, you can't really compare effort sometimes. I mean, probably the hardest thing I've ever done is the Michigan Coast to Coast. It was just 200 miles straight across the Michigan, and it was like that was more weather related, but
It's always into the wind because you always go east to west.
I feel like I got out of that, and I'm like, that was terrible. But yeah, I don't know. It's completely, it's hard to compare. Maybe you can say technically, like this is the most technically difficult mountain bike race, yes. Or you can say this is the most like climbiest road race or something. Yeah, you can say that. But saying like it's the hardest, I don't know. Hard is very subjective, I guess. But I mean, I don't think it's very surprising. But I'm like, I came from a road background. That was my.
You're stupid fast on Zwift.
Well, yeah, Zwift is dumb though.
That's all we do on road bikes. No drafting.
I mean, yeah, I love Zwift. I think it doesn't connect with everyone. It connects with me. There's just, I don't know. It's fun to get on there, and there's a great group of guys, Michigan guys, that have like a community that you jump on Discord with, Dirty Mitten Racing League, and that really helps. From Iceman to, I don't know, February or something, or March, it really helps you get trained throughout the
Melting Man? Would that be the first? Maybe?
Melting Man. Yeah, I mean,
Polar
it's
Stroll?
polar roll.
Stroll?
What's polar stroll?
It's when you walk your bike and you're not in the first 5 people.
Yeah, I think I listened to an episode and you averaged, or somebody you had on averaged like 5 miles an hour.
I did polar roll once, and I lucked out, man. It was the best conditions. It was cold as fuck, but it was one of the best conditions. It was so fast. And then I know like this last year, or I guess this year, it seemed like it was good conditions, and then it like snowed a bunch right before, and it was garbage. So you just never know what you're gonna get. So yeah, that was probably a polar stroll.
What blew me away was the gear list.
Oh,
that you're required to have.
Well,
in order to enter.
so that was like the ultra one. So
Okay.
that's what these dummies that do like, decide that they're going to be in the elements for like 48 hours. Like
Jill.
a real dummy like Jill. But yeah, like they have to have this gear list of all this stuff, because you're risking. Man, I don't know. That's something I don't know if I would ever do just because of the cold. Like what you can. I mean, some of these long rides that I've put myself through, it's like I feel like my hands will never be the same. Mm-hmm. It's just like you do some real nerve damage, and you hope that you give it enough time to rest, but then you're like, man, I really want to ride today, and then you're probably just prolonging it.
Matt Acker said that he did that whole Michigan route.
Yeah,
and
the Moore route, and he kind of really screwed up his hands,
Yeah.
right? Yep. Yeah.
He talked about he's like, I don't think my hand's ever going to be the same because it was so cold. And
I had a lot of so I attempted stupidly the Margie out and back last year, which
Tell us what it is.
Well, so I had only done Margie 100 once the year before, and that was kind of like a bucket list race. Finishing Margie 100, just wanted to check that off and cool. And then the next year was this out and back where you just do it backwards and then turn around and do it. So it's 200 miles. Stupid. It's just dumb. And so it was cool. I guess I'll do it. And I got like 170 some miles into it. 30 plus hours of riding. I don't think I've ever ridden straight that long. And it was like your legs felt okay, but it's all those other touch points, and my shoulders, my arms, my hands were destroyed. My ass was destroyed. And I think, man, I just didn't like the dexterity in my hands, and then something in my back and my shoulders didn't really feel right until even after Iceman. Like I just didn't really feel like I had the movement I needed to. Those things take a toll, and more and more I'm like, is that really what I want to be doing with my life? Is just destroying myself? Or
you could go ride fun trails in Marquette.
Or can you get the same experience and not destroy yourself? Yeah, that's a good question.
I do want to ask you about KOM Cyclying and mid-pack media, because for a long time I thought it was just something you said on your podcast. Like we talk about our Building Blocks Foundation sponsorship, but in reality I'm on the board, so
yeah,
it's not really a sponsorship as much as me just promoting my girlfriend's foundation and Kellen's wife.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well,
I looked it up and I'm like, oh, there's some sweet stuff on there.
Well, mid-pack media is totally made up. That is a made up thing that we just thought was funny. And so that's not really a thing. It's just something I say.
Damn, I was hoping we get signed by mid-pack media.
You can be under the umbrella of mid-pack media. I like that.
I've been a mid-pack hero for a long time now.
I get a lot of shit for that though, because sometimes I will be like top 10 in something, and everyone has to say, well, it's not really mid-pack, but
it is if there's 15.
100%. Yes. But KOM, yeah, I mean, KOM's legit. I mean, it's a brand I work for, and it's been part of my cycling journey, is now working for a cycling brand.
Is that why you moved up here?
It is not, but it's very much how I got the job. And the podcast is very related to everything, to this. When moved up here, my wife was going to grad school at MSU, and then I was just looking for group rides to do, road, and found a road ride. And I was riding with this kid, a student, and I knew I started to hear that he had his own company. I'm like, huh, it's kind of he had his own company of bike related things. I was like, that's interesting. And then I got to know him pretty well, Austin Loper, and he's a fast rider, strong guy, triathlete, that's the only mark against him. But
Can't do it. Try it.
but yeah, like he was selling like mounts, like the for Garmin and especially like Wahoo computer mounts, and then some tubeless stuff like tubeless repair kits and things like that. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. And he was doing it all while he was going to school. I'm like, man, this kid's doing something. So I'm like, I'm gonna just like make sure I keep in contact with this guy. Well, Sheldon and I start the podcast and we interview Alexi Vermeulen, and he reached out to us and he's like, guys, I think this podcasting is really, really cool that you're doing. Is there any way that I can be involved and help you out and support you? And we're like, I don't know. I guess you could buy us beer. Like what like, like we had no idea at this time. Like but we're just like, sure. Like, I don't know. Like so I think like he put a discount code up on his website and was just like, yeah, let's kind of partner together. And we're a little hesitant. Like, is this what we want to do? Is this not what we want to do? But I don't know. He just like was really enthusiastic and encouraging about it. And so we're like, yeah, let's just see what happens. Well, and then year goes on and I start thinking about what I want to do with my life. And I was directing music for so long, and my wife was graduating from grad school and getting a job again. And I was like, you know what? This would be a good time for a change. And so I just kind of said to Austin, I was like, hey man, I know we're working together with the podcast, but if there are any other like random jobs that you need, just let me know. I can kind of do some marketing stuff or something. And started with that, led to this, led to a part-time job, led to a full-time job, and I've been there like 5 years now.
You've had to go to a bunch of cool places too.
It's been,
you like hint at it in a whole bunch of podcasts.
It's been,
like, oh, I was in Switzerland.
It's been amazing. It's been a truly incredible, and I feel so fortunate that like it kind of like it fell upon me somehow that I get to work in an industry that I love. And that's good sometimes, it's bad sometimes, because you see like the pros and cons. Mm-hmm. But where yeah, like the experiences we've had with going to Sea Otter every year, how we go to Eurobike almost every year. We've gone to Taiwan to Taipei to see where every bike component is made, essentially. It's pretty incredible. And then just kind of like not in a cycling thing, but just you just like see how a small business is run. And not only see, it's like you just got to do everything. It's one of those, we sell all over the world, but it's only a few of us. So you do everything. Mm-hmm. We do, like, all of us wear every single hat, and we just got to make sure that at the end of the day, shit gets done. And so yeah, it's been great, and I'm really proud of the stuff that we've done. We really have like a team atmosphere where we just all like put in our ideas for different products, and I know there's a lot of brands that will throw a label on something that they can buy, but we really think through it. We come up with unique things, and it's super cool.
They have a bunch of stuff for those of us that are like enduro, like multi-day enduro or even single-day enduro people, where they do like mounts with boas and stuff. I saw you had one on your seat post today.
Yeah, this is the KOM Cyclying, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I got a couple KOM things that I personally like those little tire repair kits that like in the small little tube. It's super small and lightweight.
Is your Garmin mount there?
Yeah, I have a Garmin mount. Like,
it was sold out forever. I tried to buy one. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, like I love them. Like they are great products. Like I stand by the things I have.
That's awesome.
They're well thought out. I like them.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, like it's aside from the podcast, it is definitely like as a cyclist, it's part of my cycling life, and yeah, it's something I'm really proud of. So I appreciate that, and we can probably come up with some sort of promotion for the Pedal Progressions podcast.
Ooh, discount code.
Maybe like a PPP 15.
It's got to have a big
yeah,
number. That's
yeah.
how you know it's good.
3.5, but you'll still only get 1.5.
So what's really cool to hear about KOM Cycling is I worked as a design engineer for outdoor camping hard goods company.
Oh, cool.
And so I spent a ton of time in China.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 times a year, 5 to 10 days per trip. And you are all too familiar with the companies that will go over there and be like, all right, what's off the shelf? What do you got?
Yep.
All these manufacturers have showrooms and they have salespeople, and they will give you something and you just throw your laser etched logo on it or silkscreen logo on it. What separates brands is coming to a manufacturer with an idea and a goal, and then working together with that manufacturer to figure out how you can accomplish that.
Yeah, you
It's
just
huge.
explained like 50% of what I do, and it's a bit, but I do it in conjunction with a few other people, and we work together, but it's exactly that. We will look for suppliers, manufacturers who have the capacity, and then we say, okay, this is what we hope to do, and try to bring it up to the level that we have. And yeah, are there some products that are like people want and we sell, and
You can
whatever.
phone it in on some stuff.
And they're good. They sell well, so we need to do that. But like this, stuff that we're really proud of, it takes a long time to go from idea to production to
And it takes
to-
breaking a
to
lot of
market.
stuff.
It takes breaking a lot of stuff. Yeah. But it's been a lot of fun to figure this out and to be a part of it. And like something I'm really proud of is we make mounts specifically for Garmin and for Wahoo. They're 2 competitors, but also we never would they view us as a competitor? I don't know, but no, they have reached out to us and see us at, they say, we don't want to be in the mount game, and we need third parties to be supplying our customers with different options. So we want to make sure and help you and give you the resources you need. And it's just like coming up with those relationships. And the more you're at Sea Otter, those relationships are just keep getting better and better and better. So it's very cool to be a part of a small company that just keeps growing and growing, I guess.
Well, I'll just throw it out there. If you ever need any product testers for some R&D, I volunteer myself.
Yeah, perfect.
You have to ride your bike.
We're,
Details.
we always do love to give some prototype stuff out and get feedback. And the cool thing is we do see it's great to go to a Michigan race and see our products on people's bikes.
Yeah.
We support Miska, which is one of something I'm really proud of. Austin came through Miska. He went to Brighton, and actually it was just this last weekend. The Merrill race was our we supported the Merrill race. So yeah, there's just something that we find that's important, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad I asked that question. I was kind of going to let it go. And
No.
then I'm like, I really want to make sure I get that in there.
I'm glad you did, because it's actually something I wanted to talk about too, and I was thinking about bringing it up, but then I wasn't really sure how to segue into it. But talking about the podcast and the progression of the podcast, KOM is very involved in that whole thing too.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when I was looking for those tire repair kits, stuff like that, I was looking for something small and lightweight, like a weight weenie. And I found your product, and it was super lightweight. It was small, convenient, and it wasn't, like $80 for a stupid tire repair kit. It was reasonably priced, and I've been happy ever since. I've used it a couple times. It works great. I think you guys do make a good product.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
Craig, you got anything else?
Just been really enjoying the conversation, and
Thanks, man.
it's awesome to talk to somebody else who's, I don't know, the similarities are endless, and I don't know, it's very unique, the position you're in, the position we're in, and what we're trying to do and how we're going about it. the weekly life, the weekly adventure, and like it's been really refreshing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And making the drive twice.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, that's a
Oh, we
story
didn't even
for
talk about that.
story for another time. But no, I appreciate it, and I have not been on the other side of the microphone really.
You get to go home and forget it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to edit a thing.
I don't have
Bye.
to edit this whole. Yeah, I just rambled, and that's his problem now.
Although I have a feeling you're going to watch over our shoulder as we try and nail an intro.
Oh, pressure.
You do that. Yeah, you do that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's why Kellen's got notes right here.
Yeah, I've been taking inside tip. Take notes while you're doing it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to us. Is anything else you want to promote before we let you go?
Well, I mean, since we're talking about KOM Cycling, we should promote komcycling.com. And then, yeah, Dirty Chain, just at Dirty Chain Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. I used to have an email, but I don't go to a separate Gmail account just to answer Gmail, like separate Gmail. So
Only
just,
I do over here.
yeah, it's bad. But yeah, just DM me on Instagram if you have a question. But and yeah, at Dirty Chain Podcast.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And remember to keep progressing, keep pushing yourself, and have fun. Thanks.
And?
Bye.
Keep your chain clean, but get your chain dirty.
Perfect.
Thanks. See ya.
Appreciate it, man. Is the Iron Man. Sorry. Iceman, not Iron Man. I need to redo that.
Do it. The day before is.